Hi everyone, my name is Claire. So a little bit of background. I have been working for the same mental health agency for the past 5 years. And we primarily work with children and young adults ages 21 and under. So I have had a decent amount of experience with mental health diagnoses since all of our clients either come in with a diagnosis or end up eventually getting one. I've had a few different roles there over the past 5 years. My first role was as a therapeutic mentor, and it wasn't as clinical. It was a little more casual, but I would work with a child who had a mental health diagnosis, who was currently also working with a therapist one-on-one. And I would kind of work on goals that were assigned by the therapist based on the child's mental health needs. And then after that, I had more of a more of like a case management role. I was a care coordinator, and again, I would work with a child and their family to support that child around whatever, their mental health diagnosis was. And again, it was a little bit more of a case management role, but I worked with an entire team. I worked with the therapist, the lawyers, whoever was on that case, and the family as well. And then more currently, I am currently a part of an in-home therapy team. So there's two of us, and there's a master's level clinician and then me, the bachelor's level. And it's a more intensive form of a service. It's kind of just under hospitalization. So it's meant for kids who have, a lot of needs, but want to stay within the home, or the family wants to try to manage it in the home. So that's kind of where we come in. So in that case, I'm obviously not able to diagnose, but sometimes the lead clinician will ask for my input regarding, my thoughts on a diagnosis. So I have had a lot of experience in seeing, how certain diagnoses appear firsthand, and just kind of what that diagnosis process looks like. In regards to my opinion on diagnosis, I do think there is a balance, right? I think sometimes a diagnosis can be really helpful for understanding, why someone behaves the way they do, even for that individual. I know for myself, understanding why I behave a certain way, why I have certain feelings, why I have certain thoughts, and for the client as well. I'm sure there is some, piece, knowing, okay, there's an explanation for this. But at the same time, labels can be very harmful, especially whereas I work with kids. A lot of times, you give a school a label. You're just like, hey, this kid has ADHD, and they take it and they run with it. And, that kid is labeled for the rest of their life, rather than being this is a kid who struggles with ADHD, that kid's given that label. And I've seen, how that can be very detrimental to a child. And, that's something that can follow you your whole life. So I think, there needs to be a balance, right? We don't want it to weigh on the person, but we do want it to offer some insight and be helpful. So yeah, that is everything. Thank you guys so much.